Last fall, of course, producers came to the Midwest to film Miles from Home in Worthington. We'll see how Richard Gere and company affected that town in my next report.
It was great.
Cops are coming.
Gary Sarnoff, News Center 7.
I shouldn't have sent you into town. I knew it.
Why did you come to Worthington today?
I wanted to see Richard Gere.
When the producers of Miles from Home decided to film in Little Worthington, Iowa, it was big news.
This whole story's been on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was a lot of excitement, and we don't have just too much of that in Worthington. It was great.
For merchants, Miles from Home produced Smiles from Home.
No, it increased business quite a bit. There was a lot of people coming in and out every day of the week just to see what was going on.
Actually, the millions in movie money spent in Worthington is still changing hands. And that's the word from Mayor Eldon Trum. He was a wrangler and farm advisor for the film, and his farm turned into a movie set.
Go. Keep the truck between you and them. They'll never spot you.
Co-stars Richard Gere and Kevin Anderson even lived on Trum's farm for 5 weeks.
Well, he went with me day to day around here, and we did the farm work as we needed to do, and he wanted to know all about livestock, pigs, cattle, about raising corn, raising any crops, harvesting the crops. He learned very quickly, and he was very interested in what was going on.
Yeah, that was.
Gere and Anderson also lived in the Dick and Helen Schneer home, and even burned the place to the ground.
We were all sitting down by the bridge down there and halfway down the lane, and I know I was sitting on a chair, and I jumped off the chair when they started it. It was kind of scary. You really didn't know what was going to happen.
Actually, special effects allowed just the outside layer of wallboard to burn. In return for their troubles, the Schneers got a completely remodeled and repainted home, along with the opportunity to see their place preserved for posterity.
It was real exciting to see the farm in the movie. After watching them film the thing last year, we were anxious to see just what was all in it and what was left out.
It's just the way things go.
So on the whole, Worthington gave Miles from Home a big thumbs up, in more ways than one.
Oh, I enjoyed it. I was over there practically every time they were making it. I'd go bowling or something. I'd come back at 1 o'clock. I'd go out to watch the movie made.
Is Worthington ever going to be the same?
I don't think so. It was great.
A lot of activity in town, a lot of money was spent, in different places, different people.
Yeah, I wish they'd shot another one this year again.
Slate this.
What about the future of films in Iowa? We'll check out the chances for coming attractions tonight at 10.
We have a tremendous amount of potential for growth.
Gary Sarnoff, News Center 7.
Action.
Excuse me, I'm here to bail out the two guys in Hawaiian shirts.
Good, we might need the space.
When the cameras start rolling in Iowa, the money starts rolling in. But an increase in film production means a lot more than just an increase in real dollars.
And I think that one of the major things the Film Office does in a very cost-effective way is increases the profile of Iowa, the name of Iowa, among people in the United States, and that's what we're really trying to do, is get people more knowledgeable about Iowa so they consider Iowa when that investment decision comes around.
Attracting filmmakers to Iowa also helps create a skilled labor force.
Like normally you have to go to New York or LA to get experience, but now that they come here, it's a lot better for us as students. It gives us an opportunity to get some practical experience before we graduate.
All right, get your hands up, officer.
Movie making is also fun. Just ask some of the Eastern Iowa co-stars of Miles from Home.
It was work because we would go till 3, 4 o'clock some mornings, 2 or 3 o'clock, and I'd do it again. It was a lot of fun.
Do you think you'd like to be in another movie?
If I got the chance.
Why?
Well, it was fun and make a lot of money.
It's just so much fun to go out there and just make a movie, and to get paid. I mean, I'd almost pay to do it instead of get paid for doing it. It's so much fun.
It hasn't been all fun and games for the Iowa Film Office, though. The producers of Gung Ho were gung ho on Charles City for their 1986 movie, but the owner of a vacant factory building couldn't come to terms with director Ron Howard. Then this fall, the movie Another World was set to be filmed in Cedar Rapids, but financial problems forced it to be filmed at another time. Still, this story should have a happy ending. The Iowa Film Office is asking for and expecting an $86,000 a year increase in its annual budget. That would include another staff person to help manager Wendol Jarvis.
As far as filming in Iowa, we have a tremendous amount of potential for growth, but it can only grow as fast as the film office is allowed to grow.
We started out with nothing in 1983. We've now got a modest budget. Hopefully it can grow as the money that it's generating grows, and it's been a small investment that's paid back with big dividends.
This is 5TV Newsmakers. Filmmaking in Iowa is the subject for today. Our guest newsmakers are Wendol Jarvis, manager of the Iowa Film Office of the Department of Economic Development, and Lindy Stroud, communications specialist with the Iowa Department of Economic Development. Joining program host Betty Lou Varnum in questioning our guests is 5TV News producer Roger Riley.
Thank you very much for joining us, and first of all, it is Lindy Strodell.
Thank you.
And we're delighted that both of you are with us. We're going to be talking about filmmaking in Iowa. We've heard so much about it recently because of the recent premiere and the opening of the movie, and Roger has a special piece to let all of our viewers know what that was all about.
That's right, Betty Lou. Just several days ago, we had the movie called Field of Dreams make its premiere here in Iowa in the city of Dubuque. And here at 5TV, we sent reporter Lauren Collier and photographer Don Campbell to take a look at the premiere.
The glamour, the lights, the stars, the stars. Where are the stars?
I have been looking for Kevin Costner. Tell me, has he snuck in the back way?
If he has, it's not to my knowledge. I haven't seen him.
Are you sure neither of you are in this film?
Well, I have to say I wasn't in it. They didn't have black players in those days.
Oh, well, maybe there weren't any real Hollywood stars here for the world premiere, but so what? The most important thing is more and more producers are choosing Iowa as a place to film.
This motion picture is about Iowa. It's about the ethic that grows from the ground. It's about the society that grew and was built here. To make this movie any other place? I don't think so.
Hey, do you realize how much this land is worth?
Yeah. 2,200 bucks an acre.
Well, and you gotta realize we can't keep a useless baseball diamond in the middle of rich farmland.
This film brought in about $5.6 million, but in the past 3 or 4 years, we brought in about $27 million into the state, not just Dubuque, but all areas of the state.
Hey, is this heaven?
No. It's Iowa.
And it could be heaven for Hollywood producers as they come knocking on Iowa's door. Reporting from Dubuque, by the way, I never did find Kevin Costner. I'm Lauren Collier, 5TV News.
Well, one man you saw in that story from Dubuque is the man primarily responsible for bringing that film crew and others to Iowa, and he is Wendol Jarvis, and he joins us here today. First of all, a little bit about that film. I guess you went to the premiere. What did you think, first of all?
Well, I'll tell you, I was very pleased. When I first started working on the project about 2 years ago, I knew from the start this was a very special film, and it had to be shot in Iowa because of what I believed would be done for the state, and quite definitely it's lived up to all of my expectations and all the expectations of the director and the producer as well. I couldn't be happier for this project, and I know when everyone goes out and sees that, they'll see it with the same pride that I have for Iowa.
And when you think of the value of having the line, is this heaven? No, this is Iowa, I mean to say. For the Iowa Development Commission, that has to be about as good as it
Wonderful
comes.
advertising. Absolutely.
Linda, you were responsible for the premiere itself.
I worked with the community of Dubuque, specifically the area chamber of commerce up there, in coordinating between the two offices the event that would pull, my goodness, something 20 statewide media and surrounding states in, not to mention 600-700 people to the first showing, a good couple hundred to the second showing. It's fun to do behind the scenes work because you start with a concept and what you want to do, and then you watch it build and watch it grow, and then it happens, as it did Thursday night. He's proud of the picture. I'm proud of the picture too, but I'm very proud of how Thursday night went, and I think everybody had a fabulous time, and that's what it's all about.
It's also about the money that was being mentioned. Tell us again what this particular movie meant in terms of economics to the state.
Well, when the producers came in, they were in Iowa for about a 6-month period of time working on the project, but they dropped about $5.6 million into Iowa when they filmed, and most of that money came within about a 2, maybe 3-month period of time. So when it hit real hard and left people with a lot of smiling faces afterwards.
Tell about the
for the film, and his farm turned into a movie set.
Go. Keep the truck between you and them. They'll never spot you.
Co-stars Richard Gere and Kevin Anderson even lived on Trum's farm for 5 weeks.
Well, he went with me day to day around here, and we did the farm work as we needed to do, and he wanted to know all about livestock, pigs, cattle.
Last fall, of course, producers came to the Midwest to film Miles from Home in Worthington. We'll see how Richard Gere and company affected that town in my next report.
It was great.
Cops are coming.
Gary Sarnoff, News Center 7.
I should have sent you into town. I knew it.
And it was great.
For merchants, Miles from Home produced Smiles from Home.
No, it increased business quite a bit. There was a lot of people coming in and out every day of the week just to see what was going on.
Actually, the millions in movie money spent in Worthington is still changing hands. That's the word from Mayor Eldon Trum. He was a wrangler and farm advisor.
About raising corn, raising any crops, harvesting the crops. He learned very quickly, and he was very interested in what was going on.
Yeah, that was.
Gere and Anderson also lived in the Dick and Helen Schneer home and even burned the place to the ground.
We were all sitting down by the bridge down there and halfway down the lane, and I know I was sitting on a chair and I jumped off the chair.
Why did you come to Worthington today?
I wanted to see Richard Gere.
When the producers of Miles from Home decided to film in Little Worthington, Iowa, it was big news.
This whole story's been on TV.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was a lot of excitement, and we don't have just too much of that in Worthington.